Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Core Studio. Welcome to the show. So, on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some newer commanders that you absolutely need to kill on sight. If you don't, they will take you out in absolutely no time. Let's jump into it. First up, starting off things with Fumulus the Infestation, a 2/2 vampire insect with flying and death touch from Jumpstart for 4 mana in black. Whenever a player sacrifices a non-token creature, create a 1/1 black insect creature strong with flying. Whenever an insect, leech, slug, or worm you control attacks, defending player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Here's the thing, okay? When it comes to commanders being intimidating, usually like the more colors, the more intimidating sometimes, right? But a monocolored commander like this one cannot be slept on if you're its opponent. Also, don't just like think, oh, it's just like, it's like a little tribal commander for like insect, leeches, slugs, and worms. How scary could that be? No, this is a disgusting commander that is absolutely gross that will just dominate the game. Again, whenever any player sacrifices a non-token creature, you make a 1/1 insect with flying. So, if you've got ways to force sacrifice, which there are plenty of ways to do so, like Grave Pact, enchantment for 4 mana in total. Whenever a creature you control dies, each player sacrifices a creature. All of a sudden, you are forcing sacrifice again and again and again. There are so many free sacrifice outlets in mono black like Viserys here. So sure, you sacrifice a creature. Yeah, okay, all your opponents sacrifice creatures too. And so do you. Whatever, okay, cool. All right, all of a sudden, you make a 1/1 insect. Okay, you sacrifice that. Your opponents sacrifice creatures. You make 3 more 1/1 insects. You do it again and again. And again, essentially, you are wiping out your opponent's boards while building yours up at the same time, and you are literally locking down the board to the point where they can literally not get a creature in play and keep it in play. And of course, there's plenty of ways to win and drain your opponents, like, Mirkwood Bats, Blood Artist type effects. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. Such an easy way to do it. Plenty of ways to win from there, but yeah, Fumulus Infestation, an absurdly powerful commander that can just lock down a board absolutely in no time. You can drain your opponents in no time too. Do not sleep on this and make sure you kill it on sight. Next up, Niv-Mizzet Visionary. A Niv-Mizzet unlike any we've seen before. 6 mana. Okay, we've seen that before. That being said, just because a commander is 6 mana doesn't mean you're like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's going to take them a while to get it out. Once this comes out, your opponents are so well in trouble, if not gone already. 5/5 Dragon Wizard flying for 6 mana, and is it you have maximum hand size? Whenever a source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, you draw that many cards. Not just 1 card, like per non-combat damage dealt. No. Doesn't matter how many sources there are, whatever it is, you're drawing that many based on the amount of damage dealt. So, yeah, a very simple card like Flame Rift. Sorcery for 2 mana, 4 damage to each player, including your own. Oh no, that's so unfortunate that I got hit for 4. Who cares? That is 12 cards drawn. Again, 4 for each of your opponents. 12 cards drawn for a 2 mana spell. There's even a 1 mana that deals 3 damage to each of your opponents. That's 9 for 3. Oh my goodness. 3 opponents, 9 cards, 1 mana, or 2 mana, 12 damage, 12 cards. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, this commander just turns like these type of effects into massive card draw, or like repeatable things, like, oh yeah, Sulfuric Vortex. Oh, that's 2 damage on each of my opponent's turns. That is, 2 per each card, 2 per each damage. Oh my gosh. Niv-Mizzet the Firemind, you can also like combo with this too. Niv-Mizzet combos with Niv-Mizzet. Who knew that? Whenever you draw a card, 1 damage target creature or player. Yeah, literally just, hey, infinite combo. Have fun. There you go. Technically not infinite. I understand that. Rules lawyers out there, but infinite enough as you need it to be. Niv-Mizzet Visionary, again, has combos. It has just super easy, absurd card draw in so many ways to take advantage of that. It is a commander that you have to kill inside, because if you don't, they literally get 1 spell off with this in play, it's game over. Next up, do not let the cuteness of this commander trick you. Shrewdest Sproutsire is most definitely a kill on-site commander. A 1/1 sapling with trample for 3 mana. What's so scary about that? Whenever a sapling you control deals combat damage to a player, you get that many 1/1 saplings. Whenever any sapling deals combat damage, that many. The restrictions on this are not very many, essentially. Again, basically, the more damage you deal with this, the more saplings you make. And the more damage all those deal, the more saplings you make. So all of a sudden, you are just dealing out a ton of damage, making a ton of saplings, basically doubling up your army every single turn, or even more so, I mean, a brand new card that really shows off just how crazy this can get. March of the World Ooze. 6 mana enchantment. Creature control a base power, toughness 6/6, and are oozes for their types. When our opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, you make a 3/3 elephant, which is basically a 6/6 elephant ooze. So sure, that part already is scary, right? Your opponents are casting spells outside their turn, you make a ton of 6/6s basically. That being said, yeah, your commander is now a 6/6 to trample. Let's just say, hypothetically, you get through on an opponent with all 6, okay? You make 6 oozes that are also saprolings, of course. Make 6 saprolings that are oozes, okay? So all of a sudden, you're like, okay, cool, I've got, 36 extra power in play now, plus my commander. Get through again, 42. That now are times 6 as well. You can see why this gets crazy. On an even smaller scale, though, even just like a Gaia's Anthem shows off why this is crazy. Now, obviously, you need some ways to pump Shrufus, but there's so many ways in green. Like, oh, okay, cool, raised by giants. All right, it's a 10/10. Or just like Black Midget Forge, cool, +5/+5 or whatever, how many lands you have. All of a sudden, you just hit, and again, you make so many saplings. Those saplings even having 1 extra power means that for every single sapling that gets through and hits, you're making twice as many as they already are. It is absurd. Anthems are crazy with Shrufus. Absolutely insane. You get a Beastmaster Ascension out and it is game over. You cannot let this going because once that ball gets rolling, this really cute Saproling is going to just demolish everything in its path. You need to take it out. You need to kill it on sight. Burninate it with fire or something. Next up, Storm Force of Nature, most definitely kill on sight. I mean, even in the name, Storm. Yeah, the Storm scale. Yeah, it's basically, I mean, wasn't invented for this commander, obviously, but, yeah, Storm's one of the scariest mechanics of all time, and Storm has Storm, 3/4 mutant hero for 4 mana in Team or Flying Vigilance. Whenever Storm deals combination to a player, the next instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn has Storm, which of course means that when you cast, you copy for each spell cast before this turn, choose targets to the copies. Certain things aren't supposed to have Storm. I mean, even one of the most simple things out there, right? All of a sudden, you know, Grape Shot, right? 1 damage to any target. Even the simplest card like that can be so powerful when it has Storm, because it was just like, okay, 1 damage to any target, no Storm. Terrible card. But because it can Storm, it's absurd. So this just gives it to anything, any instant or sorcery. And of course, yeah, this is on a combat damage trigger to a player, so cast Assault Strobe. Cool, my Storm counts at 1, great. Target creature gains double strike until end of turn. Awesome, my commander now has double strike. Awesome, I'll probably cast some other spells as well. I'll swing through, I hit with my commander, it hits again, I get that trigger twice, meaning the next spell I cast has double Storm essentially. And then I cast a multitude of extra turn spells. Any extra turn spell, basically, and I just win the game. Sorcery for 5 mana. Target player takes next turn for this one. Yeah, when you storm off with this, all of a sudden you get an absurd amount of extra turns, and from there you're going to get more extra turns, and more storming, and more extra turns, and more storming, and it's never going to be your opponent's turns. And extra combats as well, too. So yeah, Storm Force of Nature, a disgusting commander that literally has what it's going to do in the name. Storm. It's going to storm. You're going to lose to Storm. Do not lose to Storm. Kill on-site commander. Moving on, a commander whose name does not match the art when it comes to a Jolly Balloon Man. Yeah, I mean, it does match it, I guess, in a Duskborn sense, right? But, like, this commander is not jolly at all, and your opponents will not be jolly when they're playing against it because they need to kill it on sight. A 1/4 human clown with haste for 3 mana in Boros. Oh, it's just Boros, right? The weakest of all the 2-color combinations. Not with this one. Pay 1, tap, create tokens, copy no target creature you control, except say 1/1, red balloon creature token to other colors and types. Flying and haste, sacrifice, begin next end step, only sorcery speed. There are limitations on this, of course. That being said, yeah, I mean, just, hey, copy any of your creatures for 1 mana. Sure, it's only a 1/1, but you still get whatever giant ETB it's going to be. So, sure, there's some massive ones out there that you can copy. And, of course, there's some combos that, well, yeah, Village Bellringer, there you go. 1/4 Human Scout with Flash for 3 mana. Flash it in, have fun. Goodbye, opponents. Enters battlefield, untap all creatures you control, which of course includes the Jolly Balloon Man. So, all of a sudden, you just have any mana dork in play that can tap for 1 mana, and you've got infinite Village Bell Ringers. You just keep making copies, and copies, and copies, and copies. Untapping, and untapping, and untapping. If you have any other tap effects, you get those too. If you got multiple mana dorks in play, you get infinite mana. If you got, say, Palladium Mirror, which taps for more than 1 mana, you've got infinite colorless mana. Yeah, there's plenty of ways to combo with this. And again, even if you're not comboing, it is super effective. It is so good at using and abusing ETBs and LTBs. You can get so much value out of it. And of course, again, literally just so many combos to be had. So please, 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 don't you dare let this stay in play. Kill it on sight, and even then it might be too late because, again, it is hasty. So yeah, try to stop it as best as you can. Kill it on sight. Moving on to Aether Drift, though, we've got Ketchermos, the New Dawn, and a new dawn has been had with this commander, and it very soon will become dusk and then nighttime for all of your opponents because, the game's going to end quite quickly with this one. 4/4 God, Menace, Lifelink, Indestructible for 3 mana, and Orzhov can't attack or block unless there are 7 more cards in exile. That doesn't take long at all, but that doesn't really matter all that much because all that matters is literally this in play equals massive advantage. Whenever one or more cards are put into exile from graveyards and or the battlefield during your turn, you draw a card, lose 1 life. Now, this would still be a very good and very interesting commander if it didn't have that last part and or the battlefield during your turn. But it does. Because it's got that part, well, this is a kill on sight commander because you can very easily use and abuse blink effects and get an absurd amount of value out of them. And there are so many different blink combos out there. And when this person with Ketchermos goes for a blink combo and just gets, oh, this creature comes into play, leaves play. This other creature comes into play, leaves play. This is the same thing over and over and over again. They get to draw as many cards as they want for as much life as they have, essentially. And, of course, there's ways to, well, mitigate that and even actually gain life from it, too. Felder Guardian, very simple, very effective. 1/4 ETBs. Exile another creature, bring it right back. Oh, hey, there's another restoration. Oh, there's another thing. Yeah, restoration. Oh, yeah, it's just, okay, yeah. 3/4 flash, flying angel, enters the battlefield, exile target non-angel creature you control, return it back to the battlefield. Basically, another Felder Guardian. Essentially, there's a lot of different kinds of cards like these. There's also, like, the Fiend Hunter type effects. If you have 3 of those, you can just loop them. There's a lot of different ways to blink loop creatures. And when you do with this commander again, you draw as many cards as you want for as much life as you want to give up. That being said, there's no limit when you have, say, Soul Warden in play. Another creature comes into play, you gain 1 life. It negates that life loss. And of course, if you've got more than one of these kinds of cards in play, if you've got something that gains you more than 1 life, cool, now all of a sudden you are gaining life when you're doing so. Or if you've got a draining effect like a Corpse Knight, now you're draining your opponents while you are doing so. Yeah, Ketchermos the New Dawn takes advantage of blink loops, and because of that, it is most definitely a kill on sight commander, which is kind of problematic because this is really hard to take out because, again, it's indestructible, and sometimes it's not even a creature. So, yeah, you need to take this out when you can, because if not, you're going to get taken out. Next up, just as I started this episode off talking about a monocolored commander, do not underestimate monocolored commander. Nissa, World Soul Speaker, is not to be slept on, not to be underestimated, and you need to kill it on sight. 3/3 Elf Druid for 4 mana in green landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you get 2 energy counters. You may pay 8 energy rather than pay the mana cost for permanent spells you cast. Yeah, she is a disgustingly powerful landfall commander. It is so easy to get lands in play. Again, you're in green. So many different land ramp spells, which you're already encouraged to play in Commander because lands are sacred, essentially, and you can't really destroy them if you're the opponent. So yeah, no mass land destruction in casual Commander. So basically, just get all the lands in play. Cool, do that. All of a sudden, you're getting a bunch of extra kind of like, other kind of resource with energy that lets you play things for free now instead of just utilizing the lands that you're already getting into play. So all of a sudden, you've got basically like 2 pools of mana in a way. You've got regular mana and you've got your energy mana, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool, yeah. Just pay 8 energy to play anything I want for free. And again, it is play. You are casting that effect, so you still get whatever effect it has if there's a cast trigger. Evolving Wilds, even. Very simple, very effective as a fetch land. This gets you halfway there just by playing the simple card. Tap, sacrifice, go get a basic land, and apply tapped. Cool, this is landfall trigger 2, and all of a sudden you get 4 energy. There's a lot of fetch lands to utilize with this, and again, just even a crop rotation, even just a random growth can be amazing with this commander. And of course, yeah, like Eldrazi. I mean, there's some giant things you can just cheat into play. Again, you're saving mana on by not actually paying for it, but just paying energy. You just play like, okay, 2 fetch lands. All right, Eldrazi, this is your commander. 12/12 Eldrazi for 10 mana, but you're never going to pay that again. When you cast it, draw 4 cards, Annihilator 4 again. Normally, if you're cheating this into play, you don't get that draw 4. But with this commander, you're not technically cheating because you are paying for it just with energy. So you're very much cheating for it, but you get that trigger. Annihilator 4, disgusting, gross. Nissa is just like, hey, you know what? Again, you've got your giant pool of mana from all the lands you're playing. You got this giant pool of energy to play things. You can play twice as many things you've been able to play. And again, get the cast triggers still of things. Absolutely absurd. And of course, even if your commander gets dealt with, your energy is not getting dealt with. You replay your commander very simply, very effectively, and then just use your energy again to play massive things. Most definitely a kill on-site commander that can snowball so quickly. Next up, in a similar vein from the exact same set, although I think Nisso is actually in the precons, but still same set, Ovia Automech Artisan, making up for Ovia initially being a really terrible commander years and years and years ago. No offense, Ovia fans out there. 1/2 Human Artificer for 4 mana in green. Each creature that's attacking one of your opponents has trample. That was not necessary to put on this card at all. Pay a green tap. You may put a creature or vehicle card from your hand on the battlefield. If you put an artifact on the battlefield this way, put 2 counters on it. Here's the thing. This is basically Elvish Piper in the command zone. This is just, hey, you know what? Again, cheat out massive things for just 1 mana. And of course, there's plenty of ways to use and abuse this, to use it multiple times in a turn. So yeah, kind of similar to Nissa, slightly different than Nissa, but still incredibly powerful. And of course, just grants trample to all of your creatures just inherently, and encourages your opponents to attack each other because of granting trample to them too. And also, it's just like, hey, you know what? Also cheating to play vehicles instead of creatures, or just like if you play an artifact creature with this, you're just like, oh, okay, cool. 2 extra counters for free. Why not? Or I just play like a Pathways Rule Monks. Again, Eldrazi, doesn't matter. You're not getting any of those cast triggers. You don't get the cast triggers like Nissa does. That's okay. It's only 9/9 Eldrazi with Annihilator 3. So yeah, you just swing with it and you wipe out your opponent's things. Great. It also can't be blocked by except by 3 or more creatures. So yeah, just cheat out massive things. Or combo with it too. There are combos with this as well. Great Oak Guardian, 4/5, Tree Folk with Flash and Reach. Enters the battlefield, creatures target player controls gets +2/+2 until turn, untap them. So it untaps your commander. You can cheat to play other things. Or maybe you can utilize some mana dorks that just untap to tap for a bunch of mana and throw that into a Teamer Sabertooth. Pay 1 in a green, bounce another creature control back to your hand, gets indestructible. Cool, that's nice. But yeah, just bounce the Great Oak Guardian back to your hand. Replay with your commander for just a single mana. Oh, untap all the things again. Tap your creatures for more mana. Do it again and again and again. So yeah, again, either you are cheating to play massive things incredibly quickly, or you are comboing with it as well. Most definitely a kill on sight commander that if you do not take out, the game will end one way or another. Next up, a brand new zombie commander taking the world by storm. We've got Temmet, Noctimoon's Will, a 4/4 zombie wizard for 5 mana in Esper. All those zombie colors. Vigilance Menace. Whenever you attack, draw a card, discard a card. But most importantly, whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get ++1 until end of turn. A massive pump effect that is so easy to take advantage of and use and abuse. Zombie is one of the most supported tribes out there by far. It is a tribe that loves to go wide, has so many ways to go wide, and all of a sudden this turns any draw spell into mass pump, take over the game and win. Yeah, if you let this thing stay in play and swing only even once with an army, you are probably gone, and you might not even realize that you are gone. This is a commander that says, hey, you know what, Brainstorm, you lose. Again, I went super wide, got a bunch of zombies in play. I just paid this simple mana, 1 mana spell, instant speed, draw 3, put 2 cards in your hand on top of your library in any order. Basically, card advantage 1 does not matter though. What does matter is, hey, I drew 3 cards. So on top of the 1 card I drew, for my draw for the turn, plus on the attack I drew a card, that's 5 cards in total. My entire army just got Beastmaster Ascension, +5/+5 until end of turn. A goodbye. And again, that's just for 1 mana. Verena Lich Queen, best friends with Temmet, BFFs. 4/4 zombie wizard for 4 mana in Esper. Whenever you attack with 1 or more zombies, draw that many cards, discard that many cards, you gain that much life. Also, you can make zombies out of your graveyard too. Great. Again, basically just a giant looting effect. So you swing with your team, you draw that many cards, you pump your team based on how big your team is. Temmet is absurd, turning any draw spell, again, kind of like Nissa. Hey, you already want to play lands in Commander, you already want to draw cards in Commander, and now when you do absurd things. You pump your team to the maximum, and you just decimate your opponents with your zombie goodness. So yes, Temmet, most definitely a kill on sight commander, because again, it is something that can just take you out of nowhere, or even if it's not out of nowhere, just take you out so quickly, you need a kill on sight, or you're going to get taken out. Finally, though, a commander that is absolutely taking over the world right now. Oh my goodness, like already over like 3,000 decks to its name, and it hasn't been out for a long time at all. It's like we've barely known that it's here, and it is already taking over things. And if you're playing against it, you need to kill it on sight. Kill it with fire, kill it with all the things. A 1/3 zombie wizard for 2 mana in Esper. Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2 and a blue. If you do, create a tapped token that's copy of that card, except as a 4/4 zombie. This is a commander that cheats in a different way. Again, commanders that cheat things into play, they're quite powerful, and this is definitely not an exception to the rule. This is a commander that says, hey, you know what? I'm going to have those massive creatures out there. you just gotta pay 3 mana for them essentially, right? Because you're gonna have free discard outlets, you're gonna utilize those, discard them, and whenever you want, they're basically giving it flash too, because whenever you want to discard it, just discard it, and then you can make that copy. So basically, give all your creatures flash, and sheet into play all your things for just 3 mana. Sometimes even cheaper if you got like a Scourge Familiar. Lovely. That being said, like even a discard out like a Guardian of New Benalia, a 2/2 that just has discard a card, it becomes indestructible on turn, tap it. That is a huge card for this deck. Free discard outlet means, hey, whenever I want to, I'll discard a card. It's a creature. I'm cheating to play for just basically 3 mana. Sure, just a 4/4 whatever tap zombie. Who cares? I get whatever effects it has. Yeah, that's going to be great. And again, say discard outlet protects itself. Or how about Tortured Existence, a card that skyrocketed in price the second this thing was spoiled. Champ for a single black mana. Pay a black mana, choose and discard a creature card. Return target creature card from your grave to your hand. Basically just going, oh, okay, I take a card. I discard it. I make a copy of it for 3 extra mana. I bring back another creature. I take that creature. I discard that one. I do that again and again and again and again. All the mana in the world, just doing all the things in the world, making a bunch of tokens. Have fun, just on repeat. Have fun. And speaking of fun, fun for you, not fun for your opponents at all. Jinga Texas Core Augur. Again, literally this game can be over on turn 3 with this commander, because it's like, okay, turn 1, free discard outlet. Turn 2, my commander. Turn 3, discard Jinga Texas Core Augur. Pay 3 mana. It's in play as a 4/4. Cool. Oh no, it was a 5/4. Now it's just a 4/4. Oh darn. Flash, Praetor, 10 mana. You're never paying that with this commander. At the beginning of your end step, draw 7 cards. Congratulations, you got an absurd hand. But each opponent's maximum hand size is reduced by 7. So they don't have a hand. So unless your opponents have a way to stop this, they now are handless for the rest of the game. And it is turn 3. Again, if you were on the play, your opponents only had 2 turns to do anything. They're probably like, all right, turn 2. I had rampant growth, so that was great. Like, yeah, feeling pretty good. Oh my gosh, there's a Jinga Tax. Yes, this commander is absolutely absurd. Can have some incredibly quick starts. And I didn't even get into population. If you have populate effects, Song of the World Soul, Wizards reprint it right now, please. Right now, please. Crazy things can happen. Absolutely absurd commander. Kill it on sight. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Comment below with your thoughts on it. And of course, as always, thanks again and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.